it's because I told you that when I first met you, I was not physically attracted to you. But at that time, Pastor K, the truth is you've evolved.
Wait. Because you were saying before that there are people that I might not be attracted to.
Yes. I don't think that you're attracted to everyone. I think
but everyone is attractive because all God's children, all God's creation is attractive.
We agree, but not everybody is attracted to that attractive person.
Wow.
Yes. I felt that.
So
I don't think you're attracted to everyone. There's some people that will pass by, they are fine. Bless God for creating them. They are fine, but
they'll be fine to somebody.
They'll be fine between them. They'll be fine somebody else.
Okay.
There's somebody's nose there that will be flat, and I'm thinking, oh my God. And somebody else is wow on top of that flat nose. So yes, somebody will say, oh, I don't like this girl.
This was wrong with flat nose.
Please,
what's the authorized official way nose should be?
Now.
You see the problem? What is the authorized shape of nose?
Sorry, let me change it. Let me change the example then.
Yes.
Because
somebody can
say, let me say, somebody can say, oh, look at this girl. She's too fat. And you?
What's the authorized shape somebody should be? These are the real issues.
No, I'm not even saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying there's a certain way. But somebody will just not find that person attractive. Somebody will not like fat girl. You see you see what I'm even saying. Let's go back to the beginning. You two did not think I was attractive because you thought I was fat.
Well, not fat like that, but I thought you might
become fat, which I've kind of done. So to be honest, I don't think it's a straightforward yes or no. That's how I feel about this question every time it comes up. I do think you should marry somebody you like, someone you're attracted to, but I don't think it should be the first thing or the only thing, because there are people you might not find attractive, but when you spend time with them, like in our case, I didn't find you attractive at first, but the friendship, I just feel like this guy is my guy. I can talk to him, he gets me. And after a while, I just found out, looking so bad after all, maybe she just grows a beard. And then I suggested that, and even though you do like this, you start agreeing small. I said, if you grow an afro, and it totally changed everything. You start looking like.
Okay, so, because young people ask this question all the time.
Yeah.
Does physical attraction matter? So, I just think, like you said, it can't be the main thing. And I think that's the problem the generation is facing, is that they've been wired and programmed to overvalue the place of physical attraction. So I think it is stopping a lot of people from getting married or from meeting the love of their life and things like that. I think it's kind of affecting people. And you've been on the period that you must like the person, You're that school of thought that you have to,
I think that you should at least, the person should appeal to the eye. It's like eating food that does not look good. A lot of times we eat with our eyes before we start eating.
Now that is a point. And I agree with that you can't marry somebody you don't like. But now, let's go to what determines who you like or do not like, you see. So that's the problem. People have been programmed to like it. And the thing is their spec. The common thing you hear is that, there's this, women are the ones that are largely in this boat.
But yes. I think that women are just more vocal about it. Men are more men too like physical stroke.
Like
yellow girl, flashy,
shape.
slim, tall.
Shape. They like shape. I agree. Okay, but how will I explain? So, I get from a lot of women saying things like, there's this guy, he's a gentleman, he's godly, he's a good guy, he cares for me and everything, but you're not here, but I'm not physically attracted to him.
She's not physically attracted to him.
Now, and sometimes I tell the person, please send me this guy's picture. Out of curiosity, I'm saying, because I almost know like I know my name. That there's nothing wrong with this guy. That is just the programming, that mindset of fantasy that every young person has built or that has been programmed into them, because today now there's social media, there are movies, there are musical videos, there are vixens, so all these images have bombarded young people. Because when we all come into the world, come in as a clean slate. So a lot of things we claim that is our spec. It's not really our spec, it was specced into us, like I like to say. It was specced into us. So most time when this woman, I'm using women, I know women, I'm using women, when this woman saying, this guy is everything else, except I'm not attracted to him, usually it's because she has been programmed in her mind to have an image, and she has worked with this image for such a long time that anybody that doesn't fit this image, she will just not get attracted to the person, and she will think it's her. She will think it's her spec. She will know that this thing was specced into you. So that's what your own case was an example. You probably had, an idea of a picture of what fine was to you.
It's the same way you will have now. Every human being has.
Yeah, but now we know better, and we have to teach so that people will not miss. You could have missed me now. Where would you have been now? You'd have been roaming around Lagos and you'd have been suffering. Yes, now.
I'll be in London, sir. I'll be in London.
You'd have been roaming around.
At least I'll be roaming around in London. What's next?
Oh, they're roaming now. You'd have been roaming. So you see, you'd have missed. And that's my concern with young people I'm seeing every day. I personally believe a lot of them are missing out on very good marriage partners, very good destiny partners, just because he's not tall. The average young girl, if you say, what do you want in a spouse? You hear he must be tall.
As okay, so that is fine, wedding picture.
Of what benefit?
Like I said,
is wedding picture.
I totally agree that is what's been expecting to us.
Yes.
But to be fair, and I know I've been joking about this, this wedding picture thing. But I think that it is the craving to satisfy that. I mean, I've never brought this up with you because I know it teases us a lot about it. That women want a man that is tall. We see, that unconscious need for security. Women feel like if a man is bigger than me, taller than me, that means that he can cover me, right? So it's beyond just what's been expecting to us. Right, it's just how people interpret.
That's where Psalm 91 comes.
Beautiful, but if you're not saved, right, and your mind is not renewed, so even if you're born again, you now have to renew your mind.
Yes.
But I don't think that it is just a, is everybody says, because men too like yellow girls. A lot of men, they have.
Yeah, but this is only about women. So yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the
men too are missing
average man
it. Yes.
likes yellow girls because he wants a girl that from where she's coming from, her fashion
shining.
So everybody can see her.
And he can't afford the cream.
He can't.
That's making her that fair.
He can't.
When you hear the price of that organic cream now, you go run.
So I think that for me, like I said, I think you should like who you are going to marry. At least there should be something you can work with, right? I don't know. I don't know that, and that's why one of the reasons why I won't just go out and say it's just physical attraction, doesn't matter, because I don't know that I would like a man that I don't. As in, the first thing I find attractive about a man, I've told you before. I cannot imagine somebody with ugly hands touching your hands. I can't. I'm sorry. Stubby, fat, ugly nails, all those things. He has to have fine hands that look like a surgeon's hands. Someone is gentle as well. Not that so there's a way, because you need that attraction also for other parts of marriage. Because yes, we can connect, we can talk, but if we get to the bedroom and I cringe, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. So let's even begin to address things one by one. I think if we renew our minds, maybe everybody might not be attracted to everybody, as you have said.
Yes.
Maybe. But I think if our minds are well renewed,
I agree.
We'll have a larger bracket.
I agree.
More people will get married, because we want more people to get married.
Yes, I agree. I agree on that one. Yes. I agree that it takes renewing your mind. Because I had to renew my mind.
Yes.
I asked myself what's most important for me. Is it friendship, or is it just that you want a guy who is dark, who is
tall and handsome? These are the things that are causing problems. So let's look at let's start to help people renew their minds. So let's start. So first thing first, what does God? We've already established that we're not saying you marry who we don't like, so let's get that correct. So, but let's start now. How does God talk about physical attraction? Because in most people's list of who they want or which kind of person they want to marry, they are rigid on the externals and flexible on the internals. And it should be the other way around. You should be rigid on the internals and flexible on the externals. That's the first problem. So these ladies, I'm using ladies particularly, I'm attacking the women today. You can attack me if you like.
Because I got you.
These ladies always say, who do you want? I want tall. It must be tall. And I've said, you will never see a marriage has been blissful for 20, 30 years. And you ask the couple, what's the secret of this your marriage? And the woman say, is this my husband's height?
But they help
my husband's height.
Upstairs. Like when we are
at
home, you guys to help me.
There's ladder and stool, my brother. That's not an issue. That's not why you should go and marry somebody. So you should be rigid on the internals and flexible on the externals. So let's move again. What does God himself, does God talk about physical attributes? Does God talk about it? So everywhere in Scripture where God talks about the physical, he's always contrasting it with the internal. So this is the part of the point I was trying to make about being rigid on the internals. Many ladies are rigid on the externals. He must be tall. He must be.
He must have this.
Don't worry. The Lord can do all things are possible to him that believes. The Lord will do all these things.
Interesting. 2-5 people married.
Sometimes we don't see.
Their mix doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I'm sure they are working in disobedience because God wanted them to share their good looks so that they both insisted on keeping it. And God said, for that, it will not go as you planned. I suspect it. Because really we've seen two people that are very, very fine. When they give back like this, we'll say, "Ooh."
They didn't really.
Say, praise the Lord.
So cute. Why is it cute? No.
And we've seen people that some of them are not great physically, and when you see their bikini, they say, "Wow."
Let's see this weekend. There's one person I said, "Let's see this weekend." It's just in your bikini. How do you feel when you see this child?
Oh my God!
You just know that God is merciful. Because
I'm telling you, He's a good God. He brings the light out of darkness. It's scripture. I'm talking about everybody. So let's go. Yes,
lights big.
There's something like that. Okay. No, but this is what people think about. Okay, so everywhere in Scripture that God talks about the physical attributes, you see Him contrasting it.
Yeah.
Almost everywhere, He's contrasting it. So you hear things like, men look on the outward, but I, God, look at the heart. So if you look at that, David was the heart in that piece of Scripture. His brothers, or even Saul, could have been the outward, and see how they ended, see how he ended. That's how some marriages are. Somebody has married the outward, and now the struggle has started.
Like that,
The trouble has started.
Not behavior.
So exactly. So you see God saying, men look on the outward, I look at the heart. You see God saying, let your adorning, 1 Peter 3, so let your adorning not be the outward adorning of splitting of hair and of earring. Let it be the inward adorning of a meek and quiet spirit, which is of great price before the Lord. So you see, there's a contrasting there of the outward and the internal. On that example, though our outward man perishes, you see, our inward man is renewed day by day. You will see here, Proverbs 31, beauty fades, charm is deceitful. He said, a woman that fears the Lord shall be praised. You see our Professor Emeritus, Solomon David, that said, a beautiful face on an empty head is like putting a gold ring on a pig's snout. So in Proverbs, he didn't say beauty is bad. He didn't say, Solomon didn't say a beautiful face is bad. He's saying, what benefit is a beautiful face if there's no beautiful mind? And Professor Iren was saying, look, beauty fades. Not that beauty is bad, but it will just fade. No matter how fine somebody is, they're going to grow old. If you look at any old woman around you, or she doesn't look like what she used to look like when she was a hot girl. She has grown old.
Oh yeah, that means I'm deceiving now.
No, you are still
I'm finer than when
No, but you need to tell us. You need to do webinar how you are managing.
Yeah, so good. You have to do
it. Oh, you still look good. And I'll get to that point. I'll get to the point why
you say those things.
Yes. Why somebody can be looking better to you. Even if other people don't see it, you will be seeing that person as fine. So we'll get there as we go on. Because this is what young people need to learn.
Yeah.
Because they have not married before. They're looking at things from the outside.
Yeah.
You need people inside to tell you that it's a different ballgame or here. Different thing. That's why I run into crisis, I think. Because I see them so focused. And I've seen both men and women do this. Men will say, oh, she must have this shape. This shape might not be there. 3 years down the line. Yeah. So there has to be more than the shape. Oh, I like this her skin. That's great, but that won't count when the discussions, when people start having tough discussions, you find that her complexion and her shape does not count. And I always tell people, getting along is more important than getting aroused. I always say getting along is more important than getting aroused. But you see, the single men genuinely do not know. I think most people that make these mistakes are genuine or sincere.
They're sincerely wrong.
They're sincerely wrong. And that's why I'm particular about this video. All right? Listen, getting along will be always more important than getting aroused. True. How they look will not matter so much to you when they start annoying you. True. You won't think about that. And that's why you see very pretty women, very handsome men still divorced.
Yeah.
Why was somebody letting go if looks was that important? Because they probably have character issues that nobody can live with, no matter how beautiful or handsome. So I see some men say, oh, this guy must have 6 packs, he must have this height, he must have this figure. 6 pack. Okay. He must have all these things. 6 packs is beer. 6 packs is beer. That's what African people have now. 1 pack. Amusement pack. So you see those things and you see the guy too saying he wants this very beautiful woman and I see so much emphasis on how the person looks. I say, look, this thing won't matter when you can't have a conversation with this person. This thing won't matter when you can't rely on this person. This thing won't matter when you can't talk to this person and the person is not available.
When you can trust
that. It won't matter at all how they look. How handsome or beautiful an amorba is doesn't change the fact that they are robbing you. It doesn't change the fact. It doesn't help you in any way. Say, person robbed me, fine. Oh, this time robbing robbers today is a blessing. It doesn't matter. He's a handsome boy. It does not matter. It doesn't return the things you've lost. A very bad boy. You understand? So I've talked about that. Everywhere God talks about looks is in contrast to internal qualities. So people should learn to be rigid with internals, flexible. So you might want a tall person, yes, but if you meet someone that meets all the other internal qualities, like godly character, he's generous, he's kind,
But if somebody wants to wait it out, because with God all things are possible.
Yes.
You want to wait it out and say, yeah, this guy, I've gotten this, but it doesn't quite feel like Isaac. Still feels like Ishmael. Ishmael was his son anyway.
It depends on
So I can trust God and believe God. The same God who brought this one with the short container with all the contents can bring me a bigger container with all the contents. What if somebody feels that way about this?
I would say it depends on your age. Yes.
That's good.
Because it's a bet. You're taking a bet.
Yes, now.
If you
faith is a risk.
No, wait now. If you are 22, if you are 25, and you say, no, I'm going to look for Miss World. Okay. If you're 35, please marry this person you are seeing right now.
So what you're saying, because somebody will see it like settling, like.
That's what, and we're going to get to that. That's why we need to renew your mind first. We need to help your mind.
I think the bottom line of everything is that it's a renewal of mind.
Yes.
Your mind just has to be renewed. Because if not, I don't really think I'll be sitting down here if I didn't renew
your mind. If God didn't help you, because you already felt, this guy doesn't look like it.
I think I can't do this though. I don't.
Yeah. We'll get to our own individual stories so that maybe people can learn something from it. Because I feel I would have also missed something very great.
You need to say that again.
Yes, Nami, I know Nami. I'm
again. Say it again.
I would have missed something great.
Yes. I don't. And point at the something great. Touch with the talk.
I didn't touch it. So, yes, that's the honest truth, and that's why I'm passionate about this because even though I even knew a lot about relationships, but you see, there's a limit to how much you can know when you have not walked the journey. Yeah. When you are in the story, you know yourself.
I'm telling you,
it's a different ballgame. Yes,
living is the hard part.
Yes, when you are in it, I was even already popular as a marriage coach, as a whatever, even when I was single for years. So I was preaching everywhere on marriage, and so I knew a lot, But it was a major deciding factor for us at that time. But now I'm just thinking, what on earth was I thinking? There's no way I could have known now, because we're almost 20 years, 19 or 18, 18 years.
18, sir.
18, it's still 18 is almost 20 years.
18.
Yes, so 18 years, I know it's 18 now. So we're 18 now, and 18 years after, I know better. And I want to help the young man that is maybe postponing and delaying on something good, or the young woman that is saying, everything about this guy is okay, except that he's not tall.
Yeah.
So I usually ask those ladies, okay, have you ever met a tall guy? She'll say yes. I say, where is he? Why is he not married to you? Then you hear, he was unreliable, he had another girlfriend. I said, you see what I'm saying? You're tall, it's not helping you in any way. Now you have seen reliable, you have seen committed, you have seen generous, you have seen spiritual, you don't want to, you still want to wait for tall. That has been putting you in trouble, that has caused a delay in your life.
Interesting, a lot of times. We also need to realize that some of the times people that you are claiming you are attracted to are not even attracted to you.
To you. So that's even the big thing. You want the tall, but the tall
does not
want you. So what are you saying? Now, but short wants you.